Hello and welcome to Film Slam Stream's post-film conversation for Dead Cat. My name is Eric Siler, and I'm an instructor of film, media arts, and communication, as well as moderator for this conversation. We are very pleased to be joined by the co-directors of Dead Cat, Annie-Claude Carson and Danick Audet. Both of them are alumni of the University of Montreal, and they've been working together on independent projects for the past 10 years. And they're joining us today from Montreal, Canada. Hello, Annie and Annie-Claude and Danick. How are you two today?
Hi, very good. And you?
I'm doing well, thank you. It's so good to have you both. And sometimes we have some students studying French or students that actually speak French watching this conversation. Can you say a special hello to them in French?
Bien sûr, on leur souhaite, on est super contents d'être ici aujourd'hui, puis d'être tous les deux là pour parler de Chamard, justement, notre dernier film, notre dernier court-métrage.
Okay, well, thank you for that. Merci for that. Well, Dead Cat, interesting concept for a film. The title tells it all. But did this film come about from something you experienced as a younger child, or you observed this? Just give us the backstory of the development of this film.
It's not something that we experience. It's very an idea that came to us. But Annie-Claude had a cat, and when we had this idea, it was an old cat, and this idea of a family that has to talk about the death of the pet. It's something that we had like 10 years ago. But the idea wasn't completely formed. We didn't know what we will be talking about and everything. And when your grandmother passed during the funeral, we had a lot of parents and little child that were there, and the parents were telling that our grandmother was sleeping or was in the sky or things like that. It wasn't they weren't talking about death. That was the word that they didn't want to say, and it was very confusing for the kids. And we saw that, and this idea with the idea of the dead pet, we put it together, and we said there's some things to talk about. This idea of children that can understand more, and we want to protect them. So it's something hard to say talking about death, but it's something that's important. So we put it in the film, mix it with dark humor and comedy, and we just wanted people to have a laugh and just think about this topic after the movie. That was that.
Oh, that's very interesting. Yeah, I know that concept is very hard for adults sometimes to talk to children. I just know when my child was very young, her fish died, and I said, "Oh, he's sleeping," and my daughter said to me, "He looks dead to me," and that made me realize that okay, children do grasp the concept of death. So, um, just the way this was written, really tell me a little bit about the script. Really nicely written. How long did it take to develop the script? And how many rewrites did you did? Speak about that for a little bit.
So it was a very long process because yes, we had this idea like 10 years ago, and so we had time to let it form in our head. And then at university, we had a screenwriting class. Yeah. And we wrote a first draft, but then we waited years because we really wanted to wait to have funding to make this movie, because it was an idea that we really loved, and we saw it clearly in our head, and we wouldn't want to do it without money, because just a taxidermy cat, just for the cat to look like a real cat, it costs a lot of money. So we rewrote script, we pitched it to our producers, and then we applied for funding. So we wrote maybe like 20 versions of the script. and it always had the same idea, but we really defined
The tone, the dialogue, that was the thing that were very important to us. Yeah. So we write like 20 version, and when we were ready to shoot, the pandemic happened, so we had to wait another year before filming. But yeah, it took us a lot of time, but we were very ready to shoot it when the time was right.
Yeah.
Oh, good. So when you actually started shooting the film, and after all these rewrites and all these years of working on it, what did you change while you were on set? Because once you see the actors moving and saying the lines, you had to make adjustments. Talk about some of the adjustments you made while shooting the film.
Well, actually, we didn't change much because we were so ready, we were so prepared, and our actors were phenomenal. We thought like, oh, maybe it will not be so natural. We'll have to rewrite the dialogue, but I think because we rewrote it so many times and the actors were so good, we were really impressed how well
it worked. Yeah, like the kitchen scene where they're talking about they don't want to talk about that. That's something that we write a lot, this scene. But when the two actors were standing in the kitchen and saying the line, we were like, okay, oh, that works. We'll continue like that. We didn't change much. We had a storyboard, and we made we didn't have a lot of time too, so we shoot what we had to shoot. And I think we just cut one little scene that we were thinking that it was
just one shot before she's leaving for school with the cat in her hands, and it was just one shot that we cut at the editing.
Yeah, but it was during the editing, there was a lot of fine tuning, finding the rhythm, because comedy, it's a lot about rhythm. So it was at the editing, choosing the right moment to cut to something else, choosing the right sound to make the cut. It was very like that, but we didn't really change.
We had just with the location, the house we were in, there was a big stairs, and so we changed the script. It was just in a hallway, and then we changed it for the stairs, but it was just like small adjustment. Yeah.
No, that's wonderful that you saw the film finish before you actually started shooting it, and it's really good. That's a testament to all the pre-production work that you put into this. Speaking about pre-production, the casting. Tell me a little bit about casting. How do you came up to cast a girl, and how did you come about getting the extras in the film?
Yes, we made a round of audition. We auditioned like 30 kids, like 20, 25 girl and 5 boy for the film. And we made a first round. It was just talking to them, doing improvisation and everything, just to know if they understand the film, if something like that ever happened to them, just talking, and it was very interesting. And we did a callback for like maybe 10 kids, and Lila Rose, she was very good. She understood the film. She
had a dog that passed away this year. So she really understood the film, and she was so mature. She was really like our character, and it was an easy decision.
And she was very good to listening to us. We were giving her some things to do, direction, and she was always listening and do what we told her to do. So it was very fantastic. It was her first short film. She made a lot of apparition in ads. advertising, but it was the first time she was on the big screen.
Yeah, and she enjoyed it very much. It was, we had a limited time for filming with kids. You cannot film more than like 8 hours, and she wouldn't leave the set after that. She would keep looking at the monitor, at the screen of what we were shooting, and she wouldn't leave. She were staying with us, and we're like, you need to go to sleep. We're shooting again tomorrow, but she enjoyed it so much. So we were very happy that we chose her.
Yeah, yes, that was a great job in casting her. And speaking about the shooting schedule, how many days did it take you to film this? Because since you said you can only work so many hours with children on the set.
Yes, we had 4 days to shoot the film, and we had the difficulty was with the little kids, so they could shoot 8 hours, so we had to take at the end of the day with just the parents. It was not that hard to do because we had a lot of scene with just the parents. But we had a limited time with all the location moving, and there's a montage in the middle of the film, and that even if it's very short scene, just setting up for them, it was kind of long. So that's what took a lot of the time for the film too.
Oh, great. So the reception of the film, tell us a little bit about some of the screenings, how the audience received the film, and what type of comments that people made about the film.
So the first time we screened the film, it was at Tribeca Film Festival, and it was in New York. So we were very anxious. We were very scared because when it's a comedy, people are expected to laugh, and we weren't sure if the translation of the French to English with just subtitles, if it will work.
Yeah.
And we were very anxious in the theater. We couldn't move. The movie started, and then when we heard laugh, we were like so happy, so relieved. And then people came to talk to us after the film, and it was so well received. They understood what we wanted to do, and then we won at this festival. So we couldn't be happier at this moment. It was like a dream come true.
Yeah, because it's kind of weird because we made this film in French, but the first time we presented it on the big screen to an audience, it was in English. So it was like a big step for us to see if it would work. And after that, maybe like it took like 2 or 3 months after that we will like 4 months to presenting in French in Montreal, and the laugh were still there. So we were very happy that it worked even in French and in English, even if it's just with the subtitle for them.
So you have an actual English version of this film with English voices dubbed in, or explain that a little bit?
Just subtitles.
Oh, just the subtitles. Oh, I see. Playing the film with the subtitles and without it.
Yeah, so people need to read it to understand. So it's kind of
understood. Did you have a special screening just for the cast and crew of the film? And how did that go if you did?
Yeah, we had one with just the cast and crew. It was like 3 or 4 more months before the Tribeca Film Festival. So it was very nice. People were happy, and one of the echo that we had, it's the people were very that when they read the script, they sing the film. So it people were saying that's exactly the script that I see on the screen, and it was something that we were very proud that even in the writing, the story came to mind, and it was applying on the big screen.
And they were happy because team always expect things to be cut, and like people at with the set they expect to to have things that will not be shown on screen, and they were very happy that everything is on screen, everything we shot is on screen, and all their hard work, their talent is there.
Yeah.
I think I know the answer to this question, but is there anything you would do differently? I don't think there is anything you would do differently, but now that the film is complete and going on a festival circuit, and you're looking back, what would you do differently, if anything?
Do you want to go?
Well, for sure, there's always thing. You never feel like you're finished working on a film. Like there's always some adjusting. Like we never know, like the rhythm, is it okay? But with everything that happened, with the film traveling around the world and all the people coming to talk to us about the film and seeing how well it's received, we wouldn't change anything, because if we would keep working on it, maybe it would have been different and maybe we would have ruined it. So we're pretty happy with how it turned out. Maybe the only thing is we would be a little bit less stressed knowing what would happen, because we were pretty anxious, but no, we wouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I thought. As we draw near to a close, one thing I do want to touch on is the ending scene with the fire and the girl coming out with the wagon with the other items in it as well too. Talk about the meaning of that, and also tell us about the music too. I thought the music was so appropriate for that ending scene.
Yes. We had this idea like very at the end of the writing process. Even the bags in the wagon, that's something that's happened in our head very at the ending of the writing process. So it was this idea that we conclude something. Now she know about that. She's able to talk about it. The parents are able, in fact, to talk about it and telling the truth to our kids. So we thought it was a funny idea that they bring all the dead animal that they all kept in the freezer and they burn it on the fire. So we can pass to something. We move forward with this idea. So it was a scene that we were thinking is kind of funny because we have the fire, they burn things. It's kind of, but it's kind of emotional because it's the end of something. We're moving on of this topic. So we just made this choice, and people don't.
It's not everybody that understands what's in the wagon, but I think it's really nice for people who understand it. And if you don't, it's okay too, because we had this idea that the family is replacing the animals of the young girl for since she's born. Like she had fish, red fish, and it's so easy to replace. So we thought about how the parents are avoiding talking about that for so many years, and we thought that the fact that she even knows for all the animals before she knows for the cats, but all it's like one thing more, even more mature, even more intelligent, even.
Yeah.
So that was the idea.
And for the music, it was a kind of a lot for us because we changed our musician during the editing, and the musician just we show him some track of some kind of different kind of music that we like, and he made us something that's completely kind of crazy with voice. It's his voice. He's not a singer, and with his friend, and they made something and pitched it to us. We put it on the.
He did it in 24 hours.
Yeah.
The music. So we were very short. We had mixing booked, and we had just 24 hours to make it. So he worked really, really, really fast, and it was exactly what we had in mind.
Yeah.
With a little bit of childish with the birthday, but kind of a bit strange but funny.
Yeah, and at the end with the voice and everything, there's something like a Caron on the back. Yeah, that was exactly, we didn't know, but it was exactly what we wanted. So it was when they made us listen to it and we play start on the film, we said, yeah, that's exactly what we want. So, yeah.
Yeah, it worked out well, especially with the sound effect of the crackling fire too at the end. So that just worked out well. Last question. What's next for the two of you? Is there another film that we can expect to see from you too in the near future?
So we will film this winter a short film. It's a dark comedy, and it's the same vibe as Dead Cat. And we're working, we're writing a feature. Hopefully it will happen someday. And we also work on a short series, and it's all dark comedy, dark humor, and kind of making fun of society.
Yeah. It's
of humans.
our scene of this society, and we twist it with some dark humor. And so it's kind of Dead Cat. It's the same style as Dead Cat, but for more project.
Oh, great. I'm looking forward to seeing that if it's anything close to what that cat was like. Annie-Claude Carson and Danick Audet, co-directors of Dead Cat, thank you so much for joining us and all the best to you. And if you don't mind, can you say a special goodbye to our French students?
Yes.
Merci beaucoup d'avoir été avec nous aujourd'hui et on vous souhaite une belle journée.
Merci.
Merci. And merci. Thank you to our audience for joining us for this important and invigorating conversation. For more information about our upcoming film festival, please visit us at clevelandfilm.org. I'm Eric Siler. Thank you.